Have you ever shuffled into the kitchen in the morning, rubbing your eyes, and realized you do the exact same things in the exact same order every single day without even thinking about it? Maybe you wake up, reach for your phone before your feet even touch the floor, scroll the news or social media until your chest feels tight, then drag yourself up. Maybe you skip water and go straight to a big mug of coffee on an empty stomach. Maybe you take your pills quickly with a sip of whatever is nearby, or tell yourself, I'll take them later, and then forget. Maybe you sit in the same chair for hours, flipping on the TV, thinking, I'll move around after this show, and suddenly, it is almost lunchtime. After 65, mornings can become more automatic than we realize. You have had decades to build these routines. They feel comfortable. They feel harmless. In some ways, they are your anchor, especially if you live alone. But here is the quiet truth no one really explains. The way you treat your body and mind during the first hours of the day sends a message to your heart, your brain, your muscles, and your hormones about how they should behave for the rest of the day. If those first hours are filled with things that stress your body, spike and crash your energy, keep you sitting still, or confuse your medications, you may be quietly shaving off strength, balance, and resilience without realizing it. Not dramatically, not like a sudden heart attack or stroke, but drip by drip, year by year. Most seniors are never told this clearly. Doctors might say, you should exercise, or watch your diet, but very few sit down and say, let's look at your mornings, because that's where many of the habits that shorten your life actually hide. Instead, you get vague advice and a list of prescriptions, and your mornings keep running on autopilot, even as your body tries to whisper, this isn't working for me anymore. Maybe you have already noticed little signals. You wake up feeling more tired than you did when you went to bed. Your blood pressure is high at your first check of the day. You feel shaky or lightheaded mid-morning, or so stiff that the first few steps are painful. You find that days when you start with certain foods or routines, you feel worse overall. You may shrug and say, well, that's just old age. But deep down you wonder, am I doing anything that's making this harder on myself than it has to be? If you are over 65, you might already be asking questions like, are there things I do every morning that are quietly raising my risk for heart problems, falls, memory issues, or diabetes? Are there simple changes I could make earlier in the day that would help me feel stronger and maybe live longer? Have I fallen into patterns out of comfort or habit that my younger body could handle, but my older body can't? Those questions do not make you weak or neurotic. They make you wise. They mean you still care about your future self, the version of you who will be 75, 80, maybe 90, who will either be grateful you made gentle changes or quietly paying the price because nothing changed. This video is not here to shame you, and it is not here to make you terrified of every sip of coffee or every TV show. Aging is not a moral failure. It is a fact of life. What we are going to do is hold up a gentle light to 5 common morning habits after 65 that can quietly shorten your life, not because you are a bad person, but because your older body is more sensitive than your younger one. These habits often seem small and harmless, but together they can erode your heart health, your blood sugar control, your balance, and your sleep in ways that add up over the years. We will talk about things like rushing straight from bed to chair with no movement at all, starting your day with the wrong kind of fuel that spikes and crashes your blood sugar, using your first waking minutes to flood your brain with stress and bad news, taking your medications in ways that are sloppy or risky, and ignoring the warning signs your body gives you in the morning because you are too busy or too used to it. For each habit, we will not just point at it and say, bad. We will explain why it can be a problem for someone over 65, what it does inside your heart, brain, and muscles, and what a more life-giving alternative could look like: small, realistic shifts that fit into a real person's day, not a perfect person's day. You will not hear, you must start running 5 miles at sunrise. You will hear things like, if you can stand at the counter and march in place for 1 minute that sends a better message to your body than going from bed to recliner without using your legs at all. By the end of this video, you will have a clearer picture of which morning habits might quietly be shortening your life, which ones are mostly harmless, and which simple changes could help your heart, your brain, and your muscles last longer. You will not be asked to become someone else overnight. You will be invited to adjust the first 1 to 2 hours of your day so they work with your older body instead of against it. And stay with me until the very end, because habit number 5 is one that many seniors dismiss with, "I've always done it this way. It's fine." Yet doctors quietly worry about it all the time, especially for people over 65. Understanding that one habit and knowing how to change it safely can protect not just your length of life, but the quality of the years you still have. Now, let us get started. Number 1, going straight from bed to chair with almost no movement at all. When you were younger, you could roll out of bed, shuffle to the kitchen, plop into a chair, and sit for an hour without your body complaining too much. After 65, that same pattern sends a very different message. Your blood pressure tends to run lower when you first wake up. Your joints are stiffer. Your muscles have cooled down overnight. When you go from lying down to standing, then instantly to sitting again for a long stretch, you are asking your heart, your balance system, and your joints to work at their weakest point of the day. Maybe you have felt it. You stand up too fast, get a head rush, feel a little dizzy or off, grab the wall or the dresser, then slump into the nearest chair. If that is your normal morning, you may be closer to a serious fall than you realize. And if your first hour is spent in the same chair, barely moving, your body assumes, "Oh, we are not needed today," and quietly lets your muscles and circulation stay sluggish. Day after day, year after year, that morning pattern can chip away at your strength and balance. You do not need an athlete's warm-up, but you do need a gentler runway. Sitting up slowly on the edge of the bed for a minute, flexing your ankles, taking a few slow breaths, then standing up with something sturdy to hold, and taking a few steps before you sit for long, tells your body, "We are still using these legs, this heart, this balance." Even a minute or two of gentle movement is better than going directly from pillow to recliner, like a switch flipped from off to off somewhere else. Number 2, starting the day with the wrong fuel, or none at all. For many older adults, mornings look like this. Reach for coffee first, maybe a sweet roll or nothing at all, then another cup of coffee, then maybe a snack later. Coffee itself is not the villain, but after 65, starting your day with caffeine on an empty stomach and a big hit of sugar or refined starch can quietly strain your heart and blood sugar in ways your younger body might have shrugged off. You may notice that on those mornings, you feel jittery or anxious, your heart flutters a bit, or you crash mid-morning and feel shaky, weak, or foggy. Your blood sugar and blood pressure are doing their own roller coaster. Over time, that pattern can increase your risk for diabetes, heart issues, and falls. Again, you do not need a perfect health breakfast. You just need something more balanced. A glass of water first, then coffee if you like, and some real food with protein and fiber, maybe eggs, yogurt, a bit of peanut butter on toast, cottage cheese, beans, even leftovers from last night if that is what you enjoy. Your stomach, your brain, and your blood vessels will all handle the day better if they are not asked to run on caffeine and sugar alone. Number 3, flooding your brain with stress the moment you open your eyes. Think about the first thing your eyes see in the morning. For many people, it is a phone screen, news alerts, political arguments, tragedies, bills due, family drama, all in the first 5 minutes of being awake. Your body has just shifted from sleep to wake. Your heart, blood pressure, and stress hormones are recalibrating. When the very first signal you send is panic, anger, or fear, your body responds like there is an emergency, even if you have not stood up yet. You might notice your chest feels tight, your jaw clenches, your shoulders rise, and you already feel tired before the day begins. That constant morning stress response can quietly contribute to high blood pressure, heart strain, anxiety, and poor sleep the following night. It is like starting every morning with an argument in your own head. You do not have to throw your phone away or pretend the world is perfect, but you can decide that the first 10 or 15 minutes of your day belong to you, not to the news or social media. Looking out the window, stretching, saying a short prayer, reading something calm, or simply sitting quietly with your thoughts before you invite in the outside world gives your nervous system a gentler start. It is a small shift that, over months and years, can ease the daily wear and tear on your heart and mind. If you are still listening, comment the number 2 below so we know you are here. And if these calm, practical conversations about senior wisdom matter to you, consider subscribing so we can keep creating videos that respect your age and your intelligence. Now, let us move forward. Number 4. Being careless with your morning medicines. After 65, many people take several pills in the morning for blood pressure, heart rhythm, blood sugar, cholesterol, pain, mood, and more. Those pills are powerful tools, but only if they are taken correctly. Skipping doses, doubling up when you are not sure if you took them, swallowing everything with one quick sip of coffee, or taking certain medicines without food when they are meant to be taken with a meal can quietly shorten your life by making your conditions harder to control or increasing the risk of side effects. Maybe you have had mornings where you looked at your pill organizer and thought, "Did I take these already?" So you guessed. Or you left your medications scattered in different rooms and sometimes discovered you had missed a whole day. Or you take all your blood pressure pills at once, then stand up quickly and wonder why you feel faint. It does not take many of those mistakes to end up with a fall, a stroke, or a hospitalization. A simple, consistent routine helps. The same time each morning, the same place, the same glass of water, the same organizer. Marking off on a small calendar that you have taken them. Asking your doctor or pharmacist which ones must be taken with food and which ones can be taken on an empty stomach. Reviewing your full list once or twice a year with a professional to see if anything can be simplified or adjusted. This is not about being perfect. It is about respecting the fact that your medicines are strong enough to help you and strong enough to hurt you if taken carelessly. Number 5. Ignoring morning warning signs and telling yourself, "It's just old age." The morning is often when serious problems whisper before they shout. New or unusual chest tightness when you get out of bed, shortness of breath from just walking to the bathroom, one-sided weakness, slurred speech, a crushing headache, dizziness that makes the room spin, or a feeling that your heart is pounding wildly. These are not just how it is to be old. They are your body urgently asking for attention. But many older adults have learned to downplay their symptoms. You may say, "I'm just stiff," or "I must have slept funny," or "I don't want to bother anyone," and push through. You sit in your chair and hope it goes away. Sometimes it does. Sometimes, not calling for help in those first minutes or hours turns a treatable issue into a life-changing stroke, heart attack, or fall. Listening to your body in the morning does not mean panicking at every ache. It means paying attention to changes that are new, sudden, severe, or different from your usual pattern, and having a plan. If I notice X, I will check my blood pressure, or use my monitor, or call my doctor, or call emergency services. It means not dismissing serious warning signs because you are worried about being a burden. You are not a burden. You are a life worth protecting. When you look at these 5 morning habits together, going from bed to chair with no movement, starting your day with coffee and sugar instead of real fuel, flooding your brain with stress as soon as you wake, being sloppy with medicines, and ignoring warning signs, you can see how they quietly push your body in the wrong direction, not in one dramatic day, but over hundreds of mornings. The hopeful part is that every one of these habits can be softened, adjusted, or replaced with something more life-giving, step by small step, in a way that fits the real life of someone over 65, not a fantasy version. Final thoughts. We have just taken a calm, honest look at 5 morning habits after 65 that can quietly shorten your life. Rolling straight from bed to chair with almost no movement. Pouring caffeine and sugar into an empty stomach instead of real fuel. Letting your phone or the news flood your brain with stress the second you open your eyes. Being careless or confused with your morning medicines. And brushing off serious new symptoms as just old age instead of listening to them. None of this is about blame. You did not wake up one day and decide, I think I'll make choices that wear my body out faster. These routines built up slowly, over years, even decades. Many of them worked fine when you were younger. The problem is not that you are weak now. It is that your body is different now. What you could get away with at 40 or 50 can quietly chip away at your strength and safety after 65. If you felt a little sting of recognition with 1 or 2 of these habits, that is not a reason to feel ashamed. That feeling is actually a sign of life. A sign that you still care how you show up for the days ahead. You cannot change yesterday's mornings, but you have a say in tomorrow's. And the good news is, you do not need to become a completely different person to make a real difference. Tiny shifts in the first hour of your day, repeated over many days, can be more powerful than one big perfect day that you never repeat. You might start by asking yourself one gentle question. If I keep doing my mornings exactly the way I am doing them now, how will my body likely feel in 5 years? Do you picture more stiffness, more falls, more pills, more fear? Or do you picture yourself just a little steadier, a little clearer, a little more in charge of your day? Then flip the question. What is one small thing I am willing to change in the first hour after I wake up? Not 5 things, not your whole life, just one. Maybe that one thing is simply sitting on the edge of the bed for a minute, flexing your ankles, standing up slowly, and taking 10 careful steps before you settle into your chair. Maybe it is drinking a glass of water before the first sip of coffee. Maybe it is waiting 10 minutes before you look at your phone, and using those 10 minutes to breathe, pray, stretch, or look out the window. Maybe it is moving your pill organizer to the same spot on the table and pairing it with breakfast so you stop guessing about whether you took them. Maybe it is promising yourself that if you ever wake with new chest pain, sudden weakness, slurred speech, or crushing dizziness, you will not argue with yourself for an hour about whether to call for help. You do not have to fix everything at once. You only have to begin treating your mornings as the doorway to your day instead of a hallway you stumble through without thinking. Every time you choose a slightly kinder habit for your older body, you are casting a small vote for the future version of you, the one who wants to keep walking, thinking clearly, and staying out of the hospital as long as possible. It can help to write down your plan, even if it is simple. When I wake up, I will sit on the edge of the bed, move my feet, stand slowly, drink water, and eat a little something with my coffee, or my phone stays face down for the first 15 minutes so my heart gets a calm start. Put that note where you will see it in the morning, on your nightstand, by the coffee maker, on the bathroom mirror. You are not scolding yourself. You are reminding yourself that your life is worth these small acts of care. And if you live with or care for someone over 65, share this gently. Instead of saying, "You're doing everything wrong," you might say, "I saw something that made me think about how our mornings affect our health." Would you be open to trying one small change together, just to see if it helps you feel better? Partnering with someone is often easier than changing alone. Remember, your mornings are not trivial. They are the opening chapter of each day you have left. You may not control every diagnosis or every event, but you do have a say in whether you start your day by quietly wearing your body down or quietly building it up. In the comments below, if you feel comfortable, share which morning habit you most want to work on first. Moving a little before you sit, changing what you eat or drink, protecting your mind from early stress, tightening up your medicine routine, or listening more carefully to warning signs. Your honest answer may encourage another senior to look at their own mornings with new eyes. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with a friend or family member over 65 who wakes up every day on autopilot and wonders why they feel so drained. Your support helps us keep creating calm, practical, senior wisdom so older adults can make simple, realistic changes that protect both the length and the quality of their lives. Thank you for watching. Tomorrow morning will come, one way or another. When it does, remember that even one kinder choice in that first hour is a gift from you today to the you who will be here tomorrow.